We all know Sir Alex Ferguson to be one of the absolute greatest managers in Premier League history in the world of football. But what will happen if you throw his name onto a 4-4-2 asymmetric tactic? I guess we're going to find out. Yes, this is called the Sir Alex Ferguson's 4-4-2 asymmetric. Not really sure. It has absolutely no information on the Steam Workshop as usual, except for Sir Alex Ferguson holding the Premier League trophy. So that is all it has. So what this actually has to do with Alex Ferguson, I don't know. But it is a sweeper keeper in support, two wingbacks on support on either side, a central defender on defend, a ball-playing defender on defend, a DM in support, a ball-winning midfielder in defend, an attacking midfielder in attack on the rightish side, and then a complete forward in attack up front. This is I don't know what Topa Sahip OL means, so, but it is a mentality of attacking. In possession is fairly wide. Approach play is pass into space, overlap on the left and right, and play out of defense. Passing directness is shorter. Tempo is slightly higher. Mix crosses in the final third and work the ball in the box. In transition, counter press, counter, take short kicks, and distribute to the center backs. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, short goalkeeper distribution, and there you go. Unfortunately, from the league table, it does not look like this worked whatsoever. Tottenham, Newcastle, and Wolves 9th, 10th, and 11th. I won't say it's the worst result we've ever seen, but it is really bang on average. Tottenham in 9th is not good. Newcastle in 10th is definitely around where they would end up anyway, if not a little lower than usual. Wolves, supposed to be in 15th, I believe, definitely climbed the ranks, but still 46, 49, 49. So overall, you definitely could have done a lot better if you could pick these teams up and get a couple more wins. Hopefully some of these 0-1s will turn into 2-1s and you'll actually get the 3 points out of it. So with Tottenham's schedule starting out not too bad, a 0-6 loss to Man City is a really painful result. And an awful September, but Champions League, you continue on. EFL Cup third round against Swansea 5-2, you continue on. You get to the EFL Cup fourth round, the FA Cup third round. You lose out to Leicester in the EFL Cup quarterfinals, though, 0-3. FA Cup fourth round, you draw with Watford and then lose in penalties. So you lose out of both cups there, and then you lose out against PSG 0-2 away from home. You win 2-1 at home, but unfortunately aggregate count, so 3-2. You lose away against PSG, and then the rest of the season, you get 3 wins. That's it. So definitely could have picked some of this up. A 0-0 against Crystal Palace. 1-1, 1-1, 2-3, Liverpool, but still, you could have done a little bit better, probably doing things on your own. Newcastle, on the other hand, a 0-5 against Liverpool. Awful way to start the season, but basically 3-0-3 to start that August. Not great. Not a great September or October. You're pretty much just not great overall until after the World Cup. You do move on in the FA Cup and the EFL Cup until you get to this Arsenal match, 0-3. So you're out of one cup. Continuing on, though, in the FA Cup all the way to the finals. Again, Liverpool beating out Newcastle 2-3 in extra time in the FA Cup final. And then, right here, the last 2 months, not great. March, fantastic. February, fantastic, as is actually January, but the last 2 months just killed it for you. But FA Cup final, a final's a final, and it's a big final too. And Wolves 5-1 against Alessandria is your last friendly, but it's the first game in August, but everything else, you're out of the EFL Cup second round against Everton. You do completely avoid all losses altogether from September all the way down to this 2-2 draw against Brighton, but Brentford 0-1, Fulham 1-2. The rest of that half of the season is just dreadful. Out of the FA Cup, 1-2 against Bristol City. So, this looks so much worse than what the other two teams have. I'm surprised they came in third. Tottenham transfers, Joseph Chutalo in there, Tony Weston from Rangers, as we've seen, Marius Wolf from Borussia Dortmund, 9.75. That's an interesting pickup. How did he do? Not too bad in the Premier League. 13, 7.15. Okay. Newcastle transfers, Roberto Firmino on loan from Liverpool. Interesting. Douglas Santos from Zenit, Ronnie Edwards from Peterborough, How did he do? Not very good. Oh my gosh. 18 plus 12 in total. 6 goals, 3 assists, 783. Oh, that's too bad to see. And then Wolves, Rafael Rodriguez from Benfica for 600 and Kiko Bondoso from Vizela, 2.4 raising to 2.9. I don't know either of those kids. Tottenham squad-wise, remember, just pause it where you want to see your names. But overall, some greens, so not too bad. Newcastle, definitely a lot less and nothing too big. 7.24 for Isaac is the biggest. 716 down to 704 and then out. And then Wolves, a couple more actually in 734, 723, 717, 710, 705. So not too bad. They just needed more of it. So while this is an attacking mentality tactic, unfortunately for Tottenham, they were good defensively, but only okay in attack. As you can see, that fouls against per game is massive, but everything else is right around, just hovering around the Premier League average with a couple of ones that are above, a lot of that are tied, and then just dribbles per game is a lot less. Newcastle is generally okay both in defense and attack. Again, hovering right around Premier League average. Fouls against per game, again, just a little bit above. Not above Tottenham, though. But defensively, ooh, that is just a lot of numbers that are far below the Premier League average. Wolves Data Hub, generally okay in the attack, weak defensively. That is why they come in third. Only by a couple points, though. But fouls against per game, closer to Tottenham's. Shot percentage is up there, but everything else tied or below for the most part. Goals per game, not too bad. But defensively, look at that. Interceptions per game is slightly higher. Everything else is lower. Blocks per game may be tied, but wow. So again, an attacking mentality for a tactic. Most goals, you have Wolves, Newcastle, and Tottenham all up there. Few shots against Tottenham, so not really the defensive side. Most possessions, most dribbles, you got all three. Most dribbles, Newcastle. Fewest conceded is nobody. Most shutouts is nobody. Most tackles won, Tottenham. Okay, I mean, again, not defensively. They were the only ones that had okay defensively. But passing, Tottenham. Most shots for Tottenham, and then most points per game, absolutely no one. Most goals, Cunha with 16, tied for fourth. Most assists, you got Pablo Sarabia with 10, tied for third. Not a lot of people, though, in this list, unfortunately. You got a couple best passing completion. St. Maximin with most dribbles made. Fewest conceded, nobody. Most shutouts, we're not going to see those. Most tackled, probably nope. Most key passes, there you go, Sarabia in there. Trippier not in there for some reason. I mean, again, defensively, I mean, especially when it's a kind of an attacking side. But Pablo Sarabia, the only one in there. Most shots, nobody. And then we've seen most goals, Cunha only. Player stats for Tottenham. Unfortunately, Harry Kane with only 17 goals. This is definitely the lowest we've seen of him when he's been in the list. Last time out, I believe, was Son, so we didn't even see any of Kane. But 7-2-1 for Kane, 11 assists for Porro, and then Son with 5 Player of the Match awards. Definitely not a good season for Tottenham at all. Alexander Isaac, again, 15 goals is definitely probably one of the lowest I've seen from him. Isaac with 7.24 highest average rating, though. That's pretty nice. So he may have some assists, but most assists is Guimaraes with 10 assists, and then Guimaraes and Isaac with 4 Player of the Match awards each. Mateus Cunha with 17 goals. I mean, again, for an attacking mentality, not doing very well on the attacking side, sadly. Highest average rating, 7.10 for Cunha. Pablo Sarabia with 10 assists. And then Jose Sa and Nunez with 3 Player of the Match awards each. That's tough. But again, I cannot say that a full-blown sim worked at all for these 3 teams. Obviously, as I always say, if you took charge yourself and did your own little things like shouts and player transfers and all of that, you hopefully, if you're good at the game, can definitely, or if you know what you're doing, for the most part, you can definitely pick up some, extra points here and there. But 49, 49, 46 is just a dreadful showing for these 3 teams. But that is it for me, Safian FM for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.